Don't call 911 and expect somebody to show up right now for a minor fender bender. That's just not going to happen. They are overwhelmed right now with accidents and other kinds of problems. All right, so here's what we got going on through this evening. It is extremely icy already on roadways. If you have not been out, I don't recommend you go out and deal with this. So the freezing drizzle, it's light. What's falling is light, but it's forming into a very thick glaze. So even if you walk outside, it's dangerous. So if you have to walk outside, I know this may sound silly, like I'm overstating this. If you have friends or family that don't generally pay attention, you know who we are. We know who they are, and they know who we are. But it's not a bad idea right now to call a friend or family member and say, hey, before you step outside, just want to let you know the sidewalks are probably really icy. If you walk outside right now and you're not paying attention on a untreated surface, you're almost certainly going to fall. It's very, very icy, very slick. So driving is obviously dangerous. But if you just walk outside like a normal day, you're almost certainly going to take a dive. So if you have friends or family member, older folks, they take a dive right now, it takes a lot longer to heal. Younger folks just aren't paying attention a lot of times, but you as well, even though it's icy, if you walk outside, you're not paying attention, you can take a dive right now. So it's very icy. Sunday, tomorrow, heavy snow all day. We have a blizzard warning for tomorrow. This is the first blizzard warning for Northeast Kansas, at least for Shawnee County, since 2018. If you remember how long ago that was when we had the Miracle on Kansas Avenue parade, and I was walking down the street holding up signs saying blizzard tomorrow. It's been that long ago. That was 7 years ago. So Monday morning, school closings are going to happen. We have a few already, and the wind chill -10 or worse. So here's precipitation. It's not particularly heavy. It's just that it's freezing rain and freezing drizzle. I want to look at the tower cameras now. This is from KDOT, and I-70 is closed. That is at exit 299. Isaac, can you hear me in there? I want to know where this is streaming, if we're just on the website or if we're on Facebook and YouTube or where it's all at. So that's I-70 at Junction City, exit 299, and the road was closed. So let's check and see if it's still closed. It looks like it is said to still be closed between exit 313, just south of Manhattan. That's what this is. That's all ice you see covering the camera there. So ice covering the camera there. That's looking at exit 301, and then exit 299. The traffic is slowly getting through there, so I don't know if it's totally closed or if they're getting off somewhere else, but most people are having to get off at this exit right there earlier. So that's I-70 there. If you can avoid that, avoid it. If you don't have to travel, stay off the roads. It's very, very slick in many areas, and these are going to be roads that are already treated, but still becoming slick anyway. Here's Gage, I-70 at Gage Boulevard. You can see the ice sticking on the camera there as well. And let's check out Supercast. Here's what we have coming. This is 6 o'clock this evening. Everything in this pink is ice. That's freezing rain, maybe sleet. It would be great to see sleet right now. Sleet is hard to drive on, but it's not like this ice glaze. The ice glaze is, it's very hard to drive on. It's hard to see it, but then once you're on it, you got big problems. North of this white line by 6 p.m., it's probably all snow from Hiawatha over to Belleville and Concordia by 6 o'clock. We'll roll us forward through the evening. There's 4 a.m., probably still ice in Topeka and Emporia at that time. It could be freezing rain, maybe changing over to sleet. Where we change over to snow here, this will pile up very quickly, and the Weather Service now going with a 6 to 14-inch snow range for Northeast Kansas, and we have the blizzard warning that's in place for everybody, except for Osage and Coffee counties. Those two counties not in it. Doesn't mean you're not going to have near blizzard conditions. You'll certainly get close to it, if not actually make it. So there's the snow on Sunday at 6 p.m. starting to taper off, and it's over with by midnight tomorrow night. We're going to have closings, cancellations, If you don't already have the WIBW News app, I do encourage you to make sure you have it. So here's our computer model. It's showing a half a foot to a full foot of snow in these areas of purple. And again, this is the first blizzard warning we've had since 2018. So this storm is going to be of the rare variety, something we don't see in this part of the world very often like this. And I want to bring up the blizzard warning now, as I have not shown you that map here. But again, I verified that with the Weather Service a minute ago to make sure that it wasn't just my memory, but they agreed, they confirmed for me that it's been since 2018 was the last time we had a blizzard warning that included Shawnee County. We may have had one for areas around Washington, Marysville, Concordia. I haven't verified that, but we might have had one of those in the last couple of years, but I just don't remember off the top of my head at the moment. So Sunday, all day snow. Monday morning, we'll have closings, cancellations. We get around to this blizzard warning here so you can see the map on it. Here it is. Blizzard warning. Winds gust to 45 miles per hour, 6 to 14 inches of snow. That's a huge snow around here. We don't see snow of that magnitude very, very often. As a matter of fact, it's about once every 5 years that Topeka sees a snow of 9 inches or more. So it's very, very rare to see that much snow around here. We generally see a 4 or 5 inch snow about once or twice in a winter, but it's unusual to see this kind of snow really ever around here. And the phone keeps ringing in the weather office. I'm not going to answer the phone. I can't answer the phone right now. That's just not going to happen. All right, so I'm looking back at records here, and the last time we had a 13-inch snow was 2014. That was on February the 4th and 5th. I remember that one well. And we had a 9-inch snow in 2013 in Topeka. But since then, I don't see anything that's above that like 9-inch level. So if it gets over 9 inches, it's something that's extremely rare in our area. Now, so the blizzard warnings are red. This area pink, that's a winter storm warning that does include areas like Osage, Coffee counties. So the blizzard warning isn't the only show in town here. It's just the highest end of the warnings, and they're saying again 6 to 14 inches of snow along with 45 mile per hour winds. So how bad is it? I have my toothbrush here. I have changed clothes. I have my coveralls and snow boots and all that stuff. And I'm prepared to stay here probably through Monday morning. I'm telling folks not to travel, and I'm not going to go out there. I brought some food, those kind of things. So I'll be here. There's the live view again. I-70 at Junction City, exit 299, and traffic's slowly getting through there. The interstate still report is closed from 177 over to 77, from exit 313 over to Highway 77. So, if you don't have to travel right now, I just recommend you stay off the roads altogether. All right, down the south, we also had a report of an accident, and we've got the turnpike says it's closed there due to a crash. I'm not sure what time that happened. Okay, that was a while ago. All right, so the turnpike's closed southbound there from Highway 56 toward Emporia. So you've got that closed as well, the southbound part. And had a report that was a very bad accident, that almost surely some folks were hurt or worse in that. So you have part of the turnpike closed and part of I-70 closed. I mean, those are major highways that are treated. Secondary roadways are certainly not going to be better right now. And like I said, I'm staying in here. So supercast are 6 p.m. All this area pink. That's freezing rain and sleet. Right now, it's all coming down as freezing rain, and freezing rain forms that glaze that is hard or impossible to drive on. So the blizzard warning begins at 3 a.m. tonight, and this is how it looks on Supercast. That's all heavy snow. Now, right now, the temperature around 2,000 feet up, 2,000 feet above us, is about 35, 38 degrees. So precipitation is coming down as water. As we get to tomorrow, 3, 4 in the morning, that temperature around 2,000 feet is going to drop from 35 degrees or so down to about minus 20. I mean, it's an extreme change in the temperature at at the base of these clouds. So this won't just be snow; it'll be fluffy snow that adds up very quickly. It's going to be very windy as well, with winds gusting 45 miles per hour. This map says 25 to 35, and you change that and up it to 45. But the winds will continue to blow the snow around and drift it all the way through the day on Sunday. And for road crews that are out working on this, trying to clear the roads, it is very hard to clear snow with 45 mile per hour winds blowing it back over the highway in the same areas you've already just cleared. So this is going to be a problem all day on Sunday, and probably into Monday as well. There's no way to clear the roads until the snow stops falling and stops blowing around. Excuse me. All right, so in the computer model here, let's check out the snow amounts from this is the Euro model is what this is, and it's showing us in a half a foot to 12 inches of snow. Now, let's go with the low end on this. Let's say the snow comes in at the lowest end of this. Let's say that we only get 3 inches of snow in Burlington, and we only get 6 inches of snow in this entire other area here in purple. Once you add in 45 mile per hour winds to this, you're not traveling. It's going to be a major mess. We have ice in the bottom already. It's falling out there. Then we're going to add the snow on top of it. So at low end, this is a major problem for us. If we get these higher end numbers, these 7 to 12, then we're going to be stuck inside for a minute. And the temperatures don't warm up from here. The temperature won't get above freezing until next Saturday, with temperatures only topping out in the teens Monday and Tuesday. That won't melt any of this. And once we start getting power outages, which we likely will, we don't expect to see, the power situation getting better for a few days, most likely. So the ice amounts here on Supercast have actually come up a bit. I have a half-inch ice range there in areas around Emporia and Burlington, but that brighter pink color you see in there could even be a little higher than that. Let's see what this model has on that. And the phone keeps ringing off the hook in weather. I'm not going to answer the phone. I'm just not. I apologize, but I'm not going to happen right now. All right, so there are the wind chill values. We're looking at Sunday. Wind chill values of -3 to -8 be common. And we do have football on TV, so if you still have power, you can watch football on WIBW TV and just stay out of the cold weather. Chiefs and Broncos, 3:30 p.m. That's on WIBW TV, and it goes through the evening as well. So I do expect to see power outages, a lot of them as a matter of fact. That is a high likelihood, as we're going to have these strong winds after we see the ice falling across the area. So once you have the ice coating the power lines and coating the tree branches and those kind of things, then they start to fall down. When the power lines start falling down onto or the branches start falling on power lines, then we have power outages. This keyboard's dead, I guess. It's all right. So we will have power outages a lot of places. This could go on for several days. It's not going to be something that happens for a couple of hours and it's gone. This is going to go on for a few days, most likely, and we're going to have a widespread situation with these power outages. I'm going to bring up the Evergy page, and I'm going to bring up the latest computer model data here too, and see how much ice is expected to projected by the computer model here for areas there like Emporia and Burlington. So I think that's going to come up. All right. Freeze rain accumulations. Now it's still in that half-inch range. Okay. Hopefully it stays less than a half-inch. All right. So there's the blizzard warning, and the other thing I want to show you here was the Evergy power outage map, and see if we have power outages yet. Excuse me. Excuse me again. Evergy power outage. There we go. As we had the power lines over around Abilene, we're starting to dance or Gallup is what it's called. And I don't see any power outages there yet. Looks like there's some around Olathe and Kansas City, but nothing widespread yet. All right, so back over here to the radar. Again, this is not exceptionally heavy. It's just that what's falling is coming down as freezing rain glaze, and the freezing rain glaze is just about impossible to drive on. So what's coming down is all liquid. Then when it gets down the surface with temperatures are in the mid-20s and even lower 20s, it is freezing on contact, making things extremely icy. Excuse me, everybody. So we have I-70 closed near Junction City, and the Kansas Turnpike is closed south of Council Grove to Emporia. And again, if you just don't have to be on the roads, it's recommended that you just stay home. If you don't have to travel, please don't right now. So we'll check out the KDOT page again here. And I want to see how traffic is doing there at 299. That is, all right, there we go. So I-70 there, exit 299, traffic has now gotten through. Right there, I'm kind of moving the mouse around, you can see a few cars still backed up. So, excuse me, that car is getting through, and it's taking that exit. And over to exit 313. That's where you get off I-70, go to Manhattan, the camera's covered nice. Deep Creek Road, the camera's covered nice. That's the Alma exit on I-70, looking west. That's Auburn Road on I-70, the camera's iced over. Getting into Topeka, traffic moving pretty slow there on I-70 through town. And you can really see how wet the road is here. And these cars are moving fast enough that they could cause a problem. They are going a little faster than probably is a good idea there from what I see. So we'll check out the temperatures so you see, kind of see why this is freezing. So we're getting this falling as liquid precipitation. It's light rain outside. But the temperature at surface is in the 20s. And the low part of the cloud is just above 32. So it's coming down as liquid, and then it's falling into this colder air. 22 in Concordia, 23 in Marysville, 24 in Manhattan, and 24 in Topeka. So it is certainly cold enough to form ice. Sorry for slurping my drink there. It's just the throat's getting a little rough today for some reason. All right. So blizzard warning is in place. There's the live look from downtown Emporia from the Lyon County History Center. And that camera is completely covered in ice. There's a live look from Concordia. Same thing. 22 degrees. Camera is covered in ice. I thought that by this time Concordia might go over to all snow, but so far that's clearly not happening. And I am going to shake that camera and see if I can get any of the ice to fall off. You can see it shaking there. That helps to dry it off in many cases, but I was hoping to see at least some of the ice come off, and that's just not helping at all. And sometimes the ice forms on one side of the camera. In this case, it looks like it's coated the whole thing on all sides. Pan down, see if we can see anything at the bottom. Nope. Oh, there we go. There's a little bitty, you can see the pole it's on. That's all we can see. Everything else is just completely covered in ice. So again, this is a very dangerous day outside with the ice that's out there. Okay, so from Capitol Federal Sky Cam in Miniger Hill in Topeka, the left side of that camera is totally covered in ice. Temperature 24, feels like 11. And the winds are getting stronger in Emporia. That's dangerous. Now that the winds are stronger, this is where we start to get the power outage possibilities. Excuse me. Wow. Not sure when I started to get this cough. All right, so again, Emporia, the winds are gusting 29 miles per hour. We have a blizzard warning for all of northeast Kansas. And this is the first blizzard warning to include Shawnee County since November of 2018. It's been that long since Shawnee County had a blizzard warning. We don't have them very often. It's very, very rare. So through this evening, the ice continues. Roads are going to be very icy. Sunday, all day, we'll have the morning ice and then change to all snow and winds gusting 45 miles per hour. Monday, lots of schools going to be closed. No doubt. Zooming out on the radar, this storm is not showing itself yet. The higher moisture content and the stronger area of low pressure have not entered the area at this point. This is the beginning of a very big storm. It's just causing a lot of impact right now because of the structure of the atmosphere being warm enough at cloud level, it's coming out as rain, and cold enough at the surface that it's freezing on contact. So normally, if it was a normal storm, we would see this just as maybe mist or even some light snow right now and no major problems. But because the atmosphere is set up for freezing rain, it's way worse early. But this big storm really not showing itself yet. This is just getting started. Blizzard warning for everybody in red, 6 to 14 inches of snow expected and strong winds. And again, on I-70, we had I-70 was closed there at exit at 77. Now the traffic has gotten through there. This is mile marker 301. Not sure what this vehicle is on the side of the road there. Let's watch and see what this guy does. At Lincoln Hill early we had several accidents there as well. Let's go down I-70 and see what's going on out west. There's a Solomon exit. There's a Salina, Lincoln Hill Road, Lincoln Hill. Can't see. You can see the grass here at the Wilson exit is covered in ice. So the freezing rain there is enough to coat the grass. There's Wilson exit looking east. There's a Russell exit east of Walker. The camera is covered in ice. All right, so this is not an isolated thing. This is a big area that's dealing with this ice and freezing rain. Let's check out I-35 near Emporia. That camera, that's all ice. So if you're out driving and you're going full on highway speed, I really wish you wouldn't. It's extremely dangerous out there. All right, there's the supercast model at 6 p.m. All the pink is ice. Everything north of that white line, mostly snow as of 6 p.m. By 4 a.m. tonight, now we get into this heavy snow. We've got Topeka and Emporia, probably still at least some ice and sleet at that time, but changing over to heavy snow for Manhattan and Concordia. There's noon tomorrow. This is when the heavy snow starts to really add up. The center of the low pressure area is right there with southwest Missouri at noon tomorrow. And it's a powerful low pressure area with a lot of moisture out ahead of it. On the backside where we are is the coldest air will be, and the snow will be adding up very, very fast. And again, we will see lots of closings, cancellations. Snow amounts, 6 inches to a full foot of snow, likely from this over much of northeast Kansas. Areas around Burlington and Emporia will see less snow but more ice. This area of purple would be the higher amounts. And there'd be some spots in there that get more than a half inch of ice. That's a real possibility. But still the bullseye looks to be right there close to Emporia, Burlington, Garnett, and then over to Missouri. And some of these spots in Missouri could go even higher. Look at this ice over in Kentucky showing up there. That's more than an inch of ice glaze. That's a possibility there. So it's not just us. That's a big area that's dealing with this ice storm. So wind chill values on Sunday, with the extreme snow falling and the wind chill extremely cold, it's just a better idea to stay inside if you can. If you don't have to be outside, if you can avoid this, please do. If you have power outages, you may have to, go to a friend or family member's house to ride this out. But find a way to stay warm, be safe. For me, I plan to stay here, probably through Monday morning is my guess. I brought plenty of clothes and some food, those kind of things, but I'm stuck. We have a generator here at the station. We do. My family and the kids, they are with their mom, and they have a generator, so they're all right. But we have made plans, to take care of ourselves, make sure we're safe in this, and I want you to do the same thing. This is going to be a dangerous storm. Now, we will likely see power outages from this. What happens with this is the weight from the ice glaze on tree branches makes some of the branches fall anyway. That can bring some of them down. But once you add on the strong winds and the heavy snow from the blizzard part of this, we're going to lose more branches. Those branches fall into power lines, and you wind up with power outages. Of course. You've seen a lot of places where where branches are cut back away from power lines to try to make it less of a problem, but it's really probably close to, if not impossible, to get them all cleared out. And earlier we were watching what I called galloping power lines near Abilene on the KDOT camera there, and that was because the weight of the freezing rain on the power lines was just perfect with the amount of wind to cause the power lines to really swing in the breeze, and that's something you will see, and that causes power outages as well. So here's what we have. Through this evening, ice will continue. Not a chance of ice. This is ongoing and continuing. Sunday all day, we'll see the morning ice early. The ice ends by 4 or 5 a.m., then changes to all snow, heavy snow and blizzard conditions. The first blizzard warning for Topeka since 2018. We will see closings, school closings, lots of them. The wind chill about -10. So for kids that are supposed to go back to school on Monday after Christmas break, that is very, very unlikely. And I am still coughing in your ear, and I do apologize. But the wind chill, this is going to be very, very, very rough as well. So, it worries me a lot that we get power outages around here, and then it's going to be so cold for so long. The temperature over the next 8 days is going to stay below freezing. The next day above freezing actually is Saturday, next week. Not today, but a week from today. So we'll get above freezing again. I'm going to bring up the 8-day forecast here. And some of this data is going to be wrong because I haven't updated it today. But bear with me as I bring this thing up. So you see some dates are wrong. I'm still in the process of building this. But this is some of this wording is from last night. So when I say winter storm begins Sunday, for example, that's updated from last night. So I'm going to move these data points there. But I just want to show you the temperatures. The temperature on this is accurate. Those forecast temperatures. So the wind chill on Monday morning about -10, and we get very cold for much of the week. But we don't go above freezing until now it's kicked back next Sunday. We have a couple of mornings in there that are extremely cold. The coldest morning we've had so far this season, not just the season, but since fall of 2024, the coldest morning we've had so far was 13 degrees. That's the coldest temperature we've had so far. Monday morning, 0. Tuesday morning, -3. Wednesday morning, -1. So we're looking at several days in a row. Those aren't record lows. It's just compared to what we've had recently, that's going to be a big difference from anything we've seen recently across the area. Okay, so as I was mentioning earlier, if you don't have to be on the roads, it's an absolute must. I would stay off the roads right now, please. I'm saying this for your safety. I do care about all of you. And I don't say this kind of thing lightly. You know, I don't want to tell people to stay home, you know, and impact your. You have freedom to go wherever you want to go. You know, there's no law that I'm aware of that says that people can't travel or do something today. So, you know, don't feel like I have, you know, any impact on your freedom at all here. I'm just telling you that I care about you and I want you to be safe. And I know that people are going to get hurt by this storm. A lot of people are going to get hurt by this storm. But if you do not have to be on the roads, then the chance of you getting hurt is lower. Not just you. If you're out on the road and you hit somebody else, you might hurt somebody else. So somebody else's family might be changed forever if you make a mistake or get out of control today. It is very icy on roadways. The road crew is doing the best they can to keep these things clear, but it is not perfect. There is no way to keep the roads perfect in a situation like this. It is not possible. So we'll have the icy roads this evening continuing. Now, here at the TV station, I came in and out a few times, but I'm staying. You know, I'm not just telling you to stay put. I'm staying here. We have a generator here. This is where I'm going to be. At least through tonight, maybe through tomorrow night. I'm not sure yet. We'll see how bad this is, but I'm not going anywhere. So what I'm recommending to you, I'm doing the same thing. I'm here. But the roads will be very icy this evening. I went outside earlier to the car and back in. I knew what I was doing. I knew that it was icy outside. But even still, knowing it was icy, it was still hard just to walk in and out of the station. We got some salt out there to treat everything. But you go on an untreated surface, if you have a deck at your house or a sidewalk, drive, anything that's untreated, you're probably going to be slipping. Any untreated surfaces are ice coated at this point. It's very thin, and it just looks like it's wet in many spots. It's it's the definition of black ice, if you will. And black ice just means you can't see it in most cases. But it's extremely icy. We've had multiple accidents across the area. Shawnee County announced they're in Phase 3 accident reporting, which means that unless there's an injury or alcohol involved or hit and run or drugs or something like that, don't call the police for help on that. Just exchange insurance information and phone numbers and move on. So, that's a big deal in itself. So we had an injury accident on the Kansas Turnpike, I believe the southbound lanes south of Council Grove, and KDOT still shows the interstate's closed there. I'm not sure if it still is or not, but a report from a viewer mentioned that they thought this was worse than an injury accident. So I won't want to say it, what they mentioned, but worse than an injury accident is what was implied. So that's not a news report from me. That's me telling you what I read from an email to the station, and the turnpike was closed in that area. So something happened there, and something happened bad. It's almost sure to be ice related, and it's due to an auto accident of some sort. We had I-70 closed between the Manhattan exit and Junction City for more than an hour. Traffic was not moving there at exit 299 at Jay Hill Road. It was not moving. It was completely stopped. So this is already an ongoing disaster here, and the freezing drizzle and freezing rain are only getting worse through the evening. The energy for the storm system is just getting started here. This is not the worst of the storm yet. This is just the beginning. Part of what makes it so dangerous right now is when folks look outside or drive outside, they look, looks fine, not a big deal, because it just looks wet. But there's these glaze of ice in many areas, and if you're walking too fast, driving too fast, or whatever, you can crash or fall down. Now, again, I've been mentioning this several times today because it's important that we talk about auto crashes and danger on roadways. But if you just, especially if your mom, your dad, your grandparents, if they walk outside and aren't aware of this and take a spill on the concrete, you can get injured badly on this kind of thing. If you're not expecting, you walk down some concrete stairs and slip on something like this, you can get a very serious injury. So make sure that everybody is aware that it's icy. It doesn't look icy. If you just step outside and look around, it doesn't look like a problem until it becomes a problem when you step on it or drive on it and realize how slick it really is. So the heavy snow comes in late tonight and through the day tomorrow. If you're looking outside right now for where's the snow, this is the ice part. The snow comes in later, and the blizzard conditions will kick in tomorrow. I did not expect to see a blizzard warning out of this storm. The reason I did not expect to see a blizzard warning is because the criteria for blizzard is very specific, and it's a little weird actually, truly, is that for a blizzard warning, you have to have winds at 35 miles per hour sustained for at least 3 hours. So if you were to have, they're expanding the blizzard warning area, is why I'm looking at my phone here. If you were to see 30 mile per hour winds for 5 hours and it's blowing and drifting the snow, that might be near blizzard. We say near blizzard conditions. And that's just one of those weird National Weather Service definition kind of things. It has a cutoff. It has to have a definition. But the visibility has to be less than 1/4 of a mile. It has to be either snowing or blowing snow. It has to be 35 mile per hour winds sustained and for at least 3 hours to reach blizzard warning criteria. So that's why Topeka hasn't had a blizzard warning since November of 2018. This is rare. So the Weather Service is now saying, hey, we're going blizzard warning for northeast Kansas with this. Ice first. We have the ice falling right now. All of this is freezing drizzle and light freezing rain. It is not heavy. This is not the big part of the system. This is out ahead of the system. The low pressure area is still back along the state line of Oklahoma and Kansas. It will make its way eastward tonight, and as it does so, the low pressure area will have more upward motion, more strength, and will interact with the high moisture content in the atmosphere over here through Missouri, southeast Kansas, northeast Kansas, and turn it into just a massive amount of snow. So there's your blizzard warning. Again, the last time we had a blizzard warning in Shawnee County was 2018. And for folks that may remember this, that was the year that I was in the Miracle on Kansas Avenue Parade. We do it every year. That particular year, if you want to go back on Facebook and look at the older images, you can laugh at me about it. But that evening, the blizzard snuck up on us. It looked like it might be a bad storm, but the computer models by that afternoon of that parade day made it obvious to me, oh my God, this is going to be a blizzard. And there was no doubt about it. It wasn't maybe, it was obvious to me at that point. I had no other way to tell people, 30,000 people at the parade, how can I tell everybody this blizzard's coming? How can I possibly do this? I made just a quick, not pretty sign, just a big piece of white paper with a black Sharpie and just wrote blizzard tomorrow on it. Walked down the street yelling, blizzard tomorrow. That's what I did. Today, I'm telling you, blizzard tomorrow. This is coming. And this is the first time since November of 2018 to have a blizzard warning in Shawnee County. I believe we had a blizzard warning in Washington, Marshall, Cloud counties, maybe Clay, a couple years ago too. Once this slows down a bit, I will go back and verify when that was. I don't remember the exact date on it. I can remember lots of the video and pictures from it, but I don't think that was back in 2018. I think it's been since then. If someone wants to email me and let me know when that was, I'd love to have the feedback on it because I just don't remember when exactly that one was. But I think it's been more recent than 2018. But the point there is blizzard warning back in 2018. That's how long it's been since Topeka had a blizzard warning. We don't have snow like this very often. You have to go back to 2014 was the last time we had a snow that was more than 9 inches. And we had one in 2013 as well. But you have to go back a whole decade to find a snow of 9 inches or more here in Topeka. It just doesn't happen very often. And this one's forecast at 6 to 14 inches. Now, you don't have to go back that far to find forecasts that were in the double digits. Okay, so I'll admit that, confess that, whatever, that we have had forecasts since 2018 that were something, 8, 10, 12 inches of snow. But it's rare. We don't walk out here very often and say a foot of snow is possible. We don't say that very often. It may seem like it, but it really doesn't happen. It's more common that we'll have a range of snow that's something like 10 or 12 inches possible from Concordia to Omaha, and the folks in Emporia and Topeka then ask me where's all the snow at. Sometimes that happens. So here's how it looks on Supercast. There's 4 a.m. tonight. We start changing over from this freezing rain and freezing drizzle to all snow late tonight, early tomorrow morning. When most folks wake up tomorrow morning, you're going to look outside and it's just going to be a mess. Now, I would love to say that I would take my boys out sledding in this. I'll be stuck here. But this won't be pleasant for sledding unless you're very hardy. Make sure if you are going to take the kids out and sled in this, or if you're going to play in it or do whatever, we're looking at wind chill values of -10, -5 to -10 at times on Sunday afternoon all the way through Monday morning, as well as power outages. So we will have power outages with this, almost no doubt. The freezing rain will intensify this evening. It will become more of a glaze in many areas, up to a ½ inch around Emporia and Burlington. We're then going to add this heavy snow on top of that, and we're going to have strong winds. The weight of the ice, first of all, sticking to the trees, does a much better job of making the snowflakes then stick to the branches as well. So it's going to weight the tree branches down. When you add this wind, and I got this 25 to 35, it should be 45, but 45-mile-per-hour gust tomorrow, that's going to blow down a lot of branches. It's going to cause power outages in many areas, and it's going to be extremely cold. So wind chill value is -10 on Monday morning. Temperature is easily right at or just below 0. It will be dangerously cold, and there'll be a lot of people suffering with this. We've had a lot of events in the past where people go out and empty the shelves of groceries because of an inch or two of snow that's on the way. I often wonder why they're doing that when the temperature the next day might be up to 40 degrees or even 50 after the storm. This storm is not that kind of storm. This is a bad one. There'll be a problem for several days. So for folks that emptied the shelves, this was the time to do it. If you can still get stuff, if you really shouldn't be traveling right now. But the snowfall forecast for this computer model, 6 to 12. Weather Service is saying up to 14. 14's in play, no doubt. Areas to the south, the reason there's less of a snowfall amount from Emporia to Burlington is because you will see more ice. So what's up with that? Why is there more ice here? And why does that mean the snowfall is different? Okay, so here's what's up. A ½ inch of ice takes about 4/10 of an inch of liquid precipitation to make, because you have some sleet, and the ice is a little bit bigger than the rainwater is, but that eats up some of the moisture. So Marysville, Seneca, Hiawatha, not looking at any ice glazing at all, at least not more than 1/100th of an inch. So your moisture up here will all be snow. So these areas to the south, the reason you have a lower snow amount is because you will have a higher ice amount. It's approximately the same amount of moisture for areas to the north and areas to the south with this. It's just that the ice and snow add up more quickly. And if you spend a lot of the moisture on making ice, it doesn't make that fluffy snow that adds up with the really big numbers. Either way, it's a disaster. Emporia, Burlington, for you guys, if you really get a ½ inch of ice and then strong winds, you're going to have widespread power outages. And I feel terrible for you. I do. And, I hope that you can keep your families warm and safe through this. But this is going to be dangerous, and you need to take this very seriously and take care of your family and your kids as best you can through this. This will be dangerous. This is not the worst thing I've ever seen, but it's bad enough that it's going to be the worst thing that a lot of people have seen. I'm not saying personally. It's not the worst thing that I've studied. Like, I've studied storms all around the nation. I studied Hurricane Helene probably for 50 hours at this point, maybe more than that. So I've studied the worst stuff. But this is going to be the worst thing a lot of you have experienced, certainly for a long, long time. So I want you to be prepared for this and be ready to keep your families warm and sheltered through this thing, because this is going to go on for a while. All right, so Saturday's wind chill, or Sunday's wind chill, that's 8 p.m. Still feels like 0 to -5. If you do have power, you can stay inside and watch football all day on WIBW TV. That's what I would do. If I was you and my power stayed on, I would stay and just watch a bunch of football on Sunday. Right now, again, it's too icy to really do much. Tomorrow, it may be impossible to get around. I don't think at 3 p.m. At 3 p.m. tomorrow, I don't think there'll be much other than, a couple of, some people will be on the roads. But it'll be very dangerous to be on the roads tomorrow at 3 p.m. I would truly just stay inside and watch football, or play Xbox, hang out with the kids, do whatever you can. Just stay inside, out of this. This is going to be a mess. All right, so power outages are very, I'd say possible, but likely from this. I showed you earlier today what was called galloping power lines there near Abilene on I-70. You may see this in some cases as well the next few days. If you see this, stay the heck back. Stay away from it. You may see this. I've only seen this in person once. I saw it on camera from Abilene live today. And there's lots of YouTube videos of this. So if you want to look up galloping power lines, galloping power lines, and ice storm, that kind of thing, what you'll see is the power lines are almost dancing. You'll see the power lines just really swinging wildly, like somebody's grabbed one end of them, yanking them like this. It's really wild to see. If you see that, stay back. That eventually, the weight of those power lines swinging around like that can break the poles off. But what's happening there is the weight of the ice on the power lines, plus the wind being just the right speed. It's not that the wind is 60 miles per hour or that it's 50 miles per hour. It just has to be in a range of like 30 to 40 and from a certain direction around those power lines, and it causes them, if it reaches the right harmonic is what it's called, to make it start dancing. But if you see power lines swinging like that, that's what it is. It's called galloping. And that will cause a lot of power outages. I saw it today around Abilene, and it's not just that's the only place it was happening. It's just that's the only place I had a live camera where I could see it at that moment. But over the next 24 hours, that's probably something that a lot of people will see. And if you do, stay back, not just from the ones you see, but stay back away from any power poles. It's extremely dangerous, and when those kind of things start to break off, the crews, the power crews, will be out there trying to fix it and get you back your energy, but it's not instant. There's going to be a lot of places with damage, and these power crews are going to be overworked trying to get your power back on, and it'll be frustrating. But this is going to take some time. This could take several days. The temperature is going to stay below freezing at least through next Sunday. So I hope I'm overstating this. I really, really do. But this storm is almost here, and just from what we've seen from the freezing drizzle so far and how bad it's been already, I think this is going to be very bad. So tomorrow, blizzard warning, the first one since 2018. We'll have the ice in the morning. By 4 a.m. or so, we change over to heavy snow for almost everybody. Winds gusting 45 miles per hour. You can expect to see power outages in a lot of areas. Monday morning, I've already told my kids they're most likely not going to be in school. I honestly think I might still be here Monday morning. I think I'll probably still be here, truly. So Monday morning, be ready for school closings. A lot of the kids, 501 scheduled to go back on Monday. I'm going to check the list of closings right here myself, actually, on WIBW.com. And I'll bring it up for you, and you can see what's closed as well. So let's see, WIBW.com, and I'll go to the closings and delays section here, and let's back the weather show up here so I can just show it to you, and let's check it out together. I have not seen this list in a few hours, so let's share it here together. All right, closings. And if it's too small to read, on your screen, I apologize. But I'm going to read it here off a screen I have in front of me. And see, my reading glasses are in the car. And I don't want to go out there. All right, so let's see schools first of all. Right now, the only school closed is Monday, USD 475. That's closed right now. I'm willing to bet that list is going to be very, very long. Let's go to all. So First Methodist Church Manhattan, canceled tomorrow. Alma UMC, United Methodist Church. You can see the long list there of things that are canceled for tomorrow. That's a very long list of things that are canceled for tomorrow. But again, the schools, they tend to wait until at least the night before to make those decisions. So if you don't have it already, you can get those notifications for your school closings on the WIBW News app. I'll talk about the weather app all the time, of course, and I want you to have it. We have about 80,000 people. About 80,000 people use the WIBW weather app every month. That's just a massive number. and it's a great resource. The WIBW weather app does not do this one thing the news app does, and that is to send you a push notification when your particular school decides to close. So a lot of schools will email you. Some of them do send out text messages to parents, those kind of things. But you can be sure that they also notify us, and they don't call us. This is set up on a web portal, and they notify us on the web portal, and then instantly it sends a message to you as a push notification from the WIBW news app letting you know your school is closed, or your school has a delay, or your school is dismissing early, whatever it might be. So if you don't already have it, I would download the WIBW news app and go into the settings there and let it know which school district you're in. And you can make sure that it notifies you if you have a closing, cancellation, or if they're going to do a delayed start. So here's what we have again. I'll go through the model again here, and then I'll take a break at 4. I'll have been live streaming there for an hour. So I'll get off here and start looking at some model data. We'll start getting ready for the 6 o'clock news as well. But you are in a blizzard warning right now. Not right now. The blizzard warning begins tonight at 3 a.m. Let's read it. And between now and when I stream again in a little while, I will be changing some batteries in this keyboard here. So let's read this blizzard warning. This is the first blizzard warning for Shawnee County since back in 2018. November 2018 is the last time we had a blizzard warning. So this is super rare. All right, let's back up here onto this. There we go. All right, blizzard warning. This is winter storm warning until 3 a.m. on Sunday. That's the text here. This is the National Weather Service page we're looking at. Blizzard warning in effect from 3 a.m. until midnight. So 3 a.m. tonight until midnight tomorrow. They say that this is going to create between 6 and 14 inches of snow with winds gusting as high as 45. Visibility is dropped below a quarter of a mile. Travel could be nearly impossible. Gusty winds will bring down tree branches. Roads will become slick, hazardous, potentially impassable. We've also seen mentions here of power outages that could last for a significant amount of time. So, a lot of times your power outages last a couple of hours, and that's inconvenient. This is the kind of power outage that could last several days with extremely cold air. All right, so this is an update for just about an hour ago. Look at this. Weather Service model here now. This is expected snowfall. They're saying 8 to 12 inches of snow in Topeka, 12 to 18 in Holton, Hiawatha, St. Joe. And this area of this dashed area right there is where they say we can see the highest variability. The reason for variability or doubt there is because of a changeover to what's going to be ice plus snow or what's going to be mostly snow. Remember, this storm hasn't started yet, really. This is just freezing drizzle out ahead of it, making things icy. We've already had some very bad accidents today, and I'll bet some people have fallen down on ice and hurt themselves as well. So to the right there, this map shows how much ice they're expecting. A quarter to a half inch, pretty widespread over this Ottawa area. And the timing on this, they show Topeka still in ice until about maybe 6 or even 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. And winds gusting from the north at 40 miles per hour. All right. So again, blizzard warning for everybody here. This is the freezing rain and sleet still at 6 p.m. We'll go later tonight, and at 4 a.m. we start changing over to snow from Manhattan, Concordia. This is heavy, heavy snow at this time. Now what you will see in snowstorms is the heaviest snowfalls in the area that's just cold enough for it to snow. So you tend to have rain, an ice layer, and then a change over to all snow. The highest snow amounts to the area that's just north of the boundary. So we are in that, and this is likely to be an extreme snow. Many of us are going to see anywhere from 6 to 12 inches of snow, and again, the Weather Service has got that mention of 18s in there, which is just off the charts. So again, about a half a foot to a full foot of snow. The heaviest ice is the area in purple. We will have power outages. If you have power tomorrow, which some people will, you can watch the Bills versus Patriots from noon to 3 right here on WIBW TV. And just stay inside for this thing. We have a generator here at the station, so we have a way to keep power, but I am legitimately worried about folks at home, and I'm concerned about your safety on this. So there'll be an ice glaze and strong winds, then the heavy snow on top of that. That's going to bring down lots of limbs. The galloping of power lines is going to cause some power outages as well. We're going to have power outages. They're going to last a long time in some spots, at least several days. This evening, roads stay very icy. Sunday, heavy snow, 45-mile-per-hour wind gusts, blizzard conditions, snow drifts a couple of feet deep. How often do you hear that? Monday morning, school closings expected, wind chill values -10. So Monday morning, the temperatures, that's the temperature Monday morning, -4 in Topeka, -6 in Manhattan. So if you don't have power and you have the temperature that cold, it's going to be hard to keep warm. Monday afternoon, it doesn't warm up much. High temperatures in the teens. So if you don't have power, you're still very, very cold here. Tuesday doesn't get much better. We'll still be in the teens for those temperatures. Here's some of the cameras. That was Emporia I just showed. That's Concordia. It's hard to even see with the ice glaze that's covering our cameras. In some spots, I can shake them up or I can use a heater, but in most of the cameras that don't have that access, it's just not something you use very often. But this ice glaze is going to cause a lot of problems. Winds gusting from the east in Concordia at 26 miles per hour with temperatures that are in the 20s. All right, so here's what we're expecting to see for your temperature for the next few days. 8-day forecast, we will stay below freezing for a long time. Blizzard warning tomorrow. It's still icy this evening. Blizzard warning tomorrow. We will see school closings of all kinds on Monday. It is very unlikely that many of the schools, I don't think anybody's in school Monday. There's just no way. I'm overstating it there, but it's not my position to do that. I'm saying it's very unlikely that there will have been, schools are probably going to be closed Monday. I'll just say it that way. You see, I'm just trying not to overstep myself there. I don't want to overstate it, but because I'm not responsible for closing schools, making that decision. But there'll be a lot of schools closed on Monday, almost no doubt. Temperatures stay below freezing through next Sunday. All right, I'm going to break off a live stream here. We'll have updates on 13 News at 6, of course. I'll have updates coming up on the WIBW Weather app, Facebook, all our social media channels throughout the day. But again, stay safe, my friends. This is a dangerous day, and tomorrow's going to be even worse.